plan for today. We're going to finish up the lab, and then there's a video that I want to watch on kind of this fight that dealt with which type of energy we were going to have, whether it was AC or DC. And that was kind of a big deal and how that got settled. So it's kind of relevant now because you all understand enough about electricity and alternating current and direct current and how that's going to play out. So there's part of this lab you have to do in class because I have to sign off on it. So I'm going to get you going through the last of the lab. There's part of a prediction that you have to make. I'll sign off on it. Then when I kind of think everybody's kind of at the point where we can wrap it up, then I'll start the video. And so if you get done with the lab, then you don't have any homework. If you don't get done with the lab, so I just want the lab tomorrow. So you all figure out how that plays out. Okay? But as far as you won't have like a quote separate assignment for this. So well, this is like kind of the last big thing. After this, we need to get through kind of a little bit with theory of relativity, what we call binding energy and nuclear reactions and that type of thing. So there isn't a whole lot left, but it's weird because the AP Physics 1 and AP Physics 2 tests are like back-to-back on days, which they've never done before, and one's in the morning and one's in the afternoon. I don't know. Okay, so I kind of got to figure out how that's going to play out, and the seniors have done, a week from Tuesday, so I got to kind of minimize disruptions but maximize teaching time throughout this whole thing. So the only thing I can promise you is the test is not going to be on the last day, okay? So promise you that, but I just got to figure out everything else.
So this is going to be a shorter test because there's not a whole lot of that.
Yeah, there's just not. It's the photoelectric effect. It's
relative
different types of reactions with nuclear decay.
Okay.
It's light. There isn't a whole lot.
Hey, Bertram, do you know what the AOP test days are?
But, oh, I know. Those are Wednesday and Thursday of next week. So the AP Chem test is on Tuesday. The AP Physics 1 test is on Tuesday, and it's on Wednesday. The AP Physics 2 test is on Thursday. That's horrible. So it's like 3 days back to back to back. They've never done it that way.
One more quick
So here or there. Okay. So let's talk about this. So here's what I want you to do when you get down to 29. So when you look at this graph on 29, and the computer program will graph this for you. So you're going to make a sketch of frequency versus energy on the same graph. And you're going to do two different lines. One for sodium, one for calcium. Plot them both on the same graph on the bottom of page 3. Pay attention to if they're linear, if they're quadratic. Make sure that you label which graph is which. And if you think they're parallel and they're linear, draw them that way. If you think they have different slopes, draw them with different slopes so I can clearly see which one you think is more shallow, which one you think is steeper. If you think they're the same slope, great. Draw them with the same slope. But I'm not going to guess which one is which. And make sure you label them. You can do them with different colors. You can label them. I don't care. But you're going to see one's going to be a sodium line, one's going to be a calcium line. And they're going to have a very, very, and this will make sense when you look at them, they're going to have a very, very specific shape in terms of what you're going to have. Now, over on the next page, on that last page, when you get to question 33, now listen to me. Here's the predictive part of this. Listen to me. It is a prediction. Okay? What the graph of current versus battery voltage ranging from -6 to 6, setting a wavelength of 330 nanometers, and the voltage will go from -6 to +6. Okay? So you're going to predict what that graph is going to look like. It's a prediction. It's not necessarily right, not necessarily wrong. Now, if you predict the graph and you think it's a circle, that's obviously wrong.
Oh, yeah, that's a minus point.
Yeah, that dog is not.
Yeah,
right.
I feel like that's
What did point
you
do?
do.
So
Dan, I feel like you're thinking about that.
you're going to predict it, and then on 34, you're going to explain it. Then you're going to have me, the viceroy of voltage, sign off on it. Then you're going to go back and actually figure out what that graph looks like. Now, on 37, you're going to have two graphs again, one for sodium, one for calcium. Make sure that I can clearly see where those graphs go off of the 0 line, where they cross the vertical axis, and which one is sodium and which one is calcium. Okay? So that's the story. So make all that happen when everybody kind of gets done. We'll watch the video on the types of electricity. So there you go.